another evening here at the Wee Dram, another fantastic, exciting, and very special evening, this one, because of course...
Happy birthday.
Well, and thank you, I appreciate that, I do. But also the Navy SEAL approach, which, which is a unique approach to tasting whiskey because, of course, there's no preparation. You cannot prepare for what you don't know that's arriving, and that's the essence of the Navy SEAL, and it makes it super fun because it's very exciting. And tonight we have the Kilchoman.
Kilchoman, and I am so excited about
the Kilchoman, the Machir or Machir Bay Kilchoman, NAS whiskey, bottled at 46% alcohol by volume.
I like that. That was a nice little touch.
Yeah,
you know,
unchill filtered, no color added.
No color. It's got a lot of right off the bat.
Right off the bat, it's set up for success. Packaging was impeccable, beautiful.
I do like the stubby bottle with the thick bottom.
A big, thick. It looks like a massive coaster, like a glass coaster that sits beneath the bottle. It almost sinks into the coaster. It's actually really interesting, unique, different. And Jonathan has not had a chance to try the Kilchoman.
And I'm just chomping at the bit.
Well, why don't you just, I know as you're getting prepared here and nosing it, maybe if you could share with us some of your recollections from actually being at Kilchoman and what you can recall from being at a distillery that was, 2 years old?
Yeah, I believe it was. We must have been in 2007 we were there, and it said, what? Is it 2005?
2005 established.
So we were there 2 years old, stopped off. We wanted to see it because it was new, and we're Isla, yay. So we went to see it, and they didn't have much to offer. But they were really promoting it, and they did have a really young one, and it was in a little bottle just like this, and it was a little 2-ouncer, and we're all just taking sips out of it. And I remember that it had a lot of flavor, and I couldn't wait to try it, when it came to maturity or whenever they started. So I've been, 10 years, 11 years down the road?
That's right.
And it's finally here, so I am really excited. I can't get much more excited than this.
No, it's really cool.
No.
So, I mean, to note, so there isn't an age statement on this particular bottle, so it's difficult to say exactly, but again, we know it's 2018.
Really care. A lot of them are
13,
doing that.
It could only be 13 years old, though.
Yep, max.
So even if the oldest whiskeys, or the oldest spirit is in this whiskey, it couldn't have been there longer than 13
That's true,
years.
but there are a lot of good scotches that are
of
less
course,
than that,
no, non-issue.
Yeah.
Just the issue is...
And a lot of them are doing it. It's like you can't almost get away from it now.
Right, no, of course. And these guys, of course, can be forgiven because they're fresh out of the gate and they just need to get their whiskey to market.
Modern
so that
day
they can...
startup, that's crazy when you think about how old everything else has been.
I know, amazing. So
and to have you review it so positively, I'm going to try not to make that an issue for me. But
and again, I know that I'm excited. And I'm just excited for the evening. And so as a result, I might be wearing my rose-colored glasses. But from the cork, it was smoky. And then the nose was just, it took me a long time to really decipher what the heck I was into. I was all over the place, I was all over the place.
The cork does have quite a smell.
You still have that smoke on the cork? Good.
I think so.
Just give me a little. I'm good. I know that cork. I got right into it. That's perfect. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
So right off the nose, what are we dealing with here? I don't know if I'm smelling smoke.
I didn't smell a lot of smoke on the nose after I came from the cork. It was a departure from smoke, and I mean, again, I went through that sort of dry hay kind of thing, which I was like, what is that? I think later I began to smell that more as the seaweed and the kelp kind of, it's sort of a dry medicinal smoke that is different from a Lafroig or different from some of the other smoky Ardbeg type whiskeys. But it has a little of that because you can't quite figure out what it is you're smelling.
A little bit. More sweet, but it does have a full body flavor. Like there's a solid smell coming out of that. It's
and I found the sweetness was an undertone, kind of it's certainly there. And again, there's a sort of like I got later into the vanilla apricot-y sort of underneath all of that.
Cane sugar almost. Oh. Do you get that? Like a pure sugar.
Interesting. Yeah, I can see some of that.
I don't know.
Maybe.
There's a bit of a burn there in the nostril again.
Yeah, but it's not burning into the nostril.
No, it's a nice burn.
Like it's not like
little
right
hot
off the.
sauce.
Yeah, it'll get there. It gets there. You know, it definitely indicates. Oh, and that could be when you're talking about 46 alcohol by volume. You know, it should burn a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, there
that.
should be something coming off that.
You have no idea how bad I'm wanting to taste it.
I have a pretty.
I feel like a little
You had
kid.
to listen to all this for so long now. And
I
now
just
you're
want to try it.
Well, you can go ahead. Maybe just take a quick look in the
Yeah,
glass.
it was hanging.
Hey, it does.
It is thick. I like that. I like
I
that
do too.
aspect of it.
Yeah.
You know, being a thick Scotch. I don't
Yeah.
know why that appeals to me,
Oh,
but
I
I
think
just like the
thick, oily.
Yes.
You know, again, moving toward the Talisker, moving toward that kind of, you know, thick, oily, smoky, maybe seaweedy, but still this dry fruitiness dancing in there, a little vanilla, custardy.
It just wants
thing.
me to taste it.
Okay,
Well,
let's
cheers.
get
Happy
on. Let's
birthday.
get it on. Thank you, and thank you so much for making this evening possible. It's been really, really fun to this point. Now we might
welcome.
start getting upset at one another over how this
Maybe
tastes.
it might turn into
Maybe this is where the podcast goes sideways. They disagreed over the Kilchoman. All right, let's see.
Let's go. That's different. I don't know if I could compare that to much. Actually, no. Okay,
That's
we're
why
just thinking.
I had to drink it 3 times before I made any sense of this. I had to honestly have 3 little intense sips before I even could really get somewhere, you know?
A lot of big flavor. And it stays with you. It's got a nice burn. It's fiery. I see the Talisker influence you're
too.
talking about.
Yeah.
It's peppery burn.
Yeah.
Maybe in a different spot, but just before it goes down, it just bursts.
Totally. And do you feel that, like, it puckers your lips when you finish it? It pulls your mouth together. It's like a real dryness in your mouth, you know? So it has this crazy oily origin, and then it almost feels like it's like evaporating on your tongue as you drink it down, and it hangs up in your mouth and holds the flavor in your mouth in a really interesting way.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
That on first sample, and again, well, it's going to be great to try it down the road. But,
Yes.
It's already good. And what does that mean? What does it mean if we like it right out of the bottle? So it takes the time to age, and you could assume it's going to get better. But what's wrong with liking
nothing.
it right out of the
Well,
bottle?
What's great about it is that it hints at more potential, perhaps, but you're getting instant satisfaction, right? Like you're not having to wait for the payoff, right? The payoff is happening on the opening few ounces here coming out of this bottle, and yet you could only imagine it might continue to develop character as it oxidizes and sits just for a little bit, maybe a month or 2 downstairs.
Yeah.
Quietly sitting on the shelf with all the other whiskeys and changing and developing together like a garden down there, I mean, at least that's how I imagine.
Yeah.
There's no scientific fact to any of that. That's just your mind dancing
that's
around and
beautiful.
thinking. Yeah, isn't it good?
Well,
it's
different. It's really different.
Exactly.
And I hope I'm not
Getting
giving
too
it
excited
much.
too?
Yeah, but it's different. It's another one. We've had a couple of doozies like that. I love it.
Yeah.
Going back to the Licheg, I keep saying that wrong, but that one, and even you can put the Dalwhinnie in there too.
Maybe
I think,
a little
you know,
bit.
and
Maybe
say,
a little
hey,
bit.
you were different too.
The difference is that we came back to the Dalwhinnie after having quite a relationship with it.
Yeah.
The Lachig and the Kilchoman are ones that are new to the family, right? They're just showing up for the first time, and they're bringing a lot of value to the whiskey experience. I think that's, it begins to expand the horizon of the possibilities when you drink a whiskey like this.
I think so.
And it's encouraging to think that they set up shop in 2005, and 13 years later, they're already delivering a whiskey that is really fun to drink. And of course, a 5 was in the stratosphere, but that was more a reflection of the experience. A 4 is a reasonable...
4 is fantastic.
A 4 is a reasonable... this is a must-have whiskey. Two reasons for us personally. Number one, because of this evening and the way this scotch was revealed. Number two, because you visited it in its infancy. And so there's a connection there that you have this whiskey on your bar because it's a great narrative to share with people that allows people to understand the richness of collecting scotch and why you have a bar that you can draw from, because it's just like having a great library.
I love
you have
that.
all these wonderful books ready to go. Well, when you're downstairs and you have all these wonderful whiskeys, it's really, it helps you try and organize your experiences and look forward to opening new experiences up that enrich your life. You know? Yeah.
And the Scotch world will always surprise you. Every
I
once
think
in
so.
a while, you're going to get surprised.
Well, and how, and this is great, like, so we could drink Japanese whiskeys, we could drink Irish whiskeys, we could get into bourbon, all of these things. We could explore the whiskeys of the world, as many have before. Yet, I couldn't imagine going past Scotland. Of course, I would never be closed-minded to drinking a whiskey from anywhere. And I've had some wonderful whiskeys from all over. But the point I'm trying to make is, there's just so much going on in Scotland. I don't know how you get out. It's almost like, why would you try learning a new sport when it's finally starting to get good at the one that you absolutely love and have passion for? Why is it then time to start another one, or whatever? I don't know,
Right. And you're right. And it'd take you years, decades to even make your way through them all and to try to really give them a shot. A lifetime just on Scotland.
You could spend a lifetime on one distillery. If you were maybe
one island.
Yeah.
Isla. But again, I love that.
Goodness,
Uniquely.
Isla.
See that? That's cool. Now that I see that and I've tasted it, I'm like,
Uniquely
I
Isla.
get what you're saying. Like, it's sort of like, yeah, of course, you're from there.
Yeah.
But it has a bit of that, maybe not necessarily Isla, but it does have that. It's got island, like on that whole
Right.
sea, coastal,
Yeah.
spicy, little harsh, It's
There-
got that.
It might have a little tiny bit of floral and a little bit of tiny fruit, and I think that fruit comes from the sherry cask, but it doesn't have your sort of typical modifying behavior of a Highland or a Speyside gentility,
Yeah.
We're not dealing with that sort of unifier that those whiskeys tend to have. And I know there's plenty of exceptions, but just if you're going to use a broad stroke to sort of tie in your 5 regions, the islands separate themselves in a certain way. And this has some characteristics that are shared with Speyside and or Highland whiskeys, but it is predominantly an island character. And that's what makes it great. And that's why it's easy to put it up in the 4.
Definitely.
You're getting
and I'm just thinking, even on the box, they're showing like a good chunk of the islands as well. Like,
Yeah.
Even though they're highlighting islets, I like that.
The
They probably
Hebrides-
didn't necessarily mean to do that, or maybe they did.
I think
but,
so. There's got to
you
be
know,
some intention.
Well, like, could just be the distance
What's
they
this
needed.
down here, do you think?
Oh.
That can't be...
It looks like more land, like
Yeah.
more of the Scotland, but it doesn't make sense. I mean,
No.
there's some there too.
No, it's hard to describe this on a podcast. It's hard to...
Yeah. Anyhow.
We're looking at a specific Kilchoman. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
gonna
I
get
do
to
like
that.
the box.
The box
it's
is perfect.
it's sort of a little Talisker-esque, but calmer seas.
Yeah, a little brighter color. A little... It
Yeah.
has a bit of a Macallan flair to it. The
Not
old
as
school
scary.
Macallan bright sort of blues, although they were a little more royal to navy. This is sort of it's an explosive blue. It's beautiful.
Definitely more sea.
Yes, definitely.
Well, this is what I'm going to say here on the bourbon versus sherry.
Yes.
I think I did a little bit of research, but the sherry is less,
Good.
right? That's
Good.
what that
Yeah,
means.
yeah. I can't. I mean, that's why I went searching for the sherry at the end of the video.
The other one was more sherry. It was I'm going to totally butcher this, but it was Seneg,
Yeah.
and that one said it tasted a little less peaty and smoky,
Right.
and it was more along the sweet sherry line.
Yes. Well, you
so
chose.
that's why I defaulted to this.
You chose the right one.
Well, we don't know. Maybe the other one's still good. Yeah.
Yeah,
but-
except that our palate's not
No.
geared for sherry.
yeah.
So that's why this one's probably better.
Love it. It's just a nice, enjoyable drink. I could stick with that.
No, it's,
I'd love to see that on somebody's bar because you don't see that often.
No.
That's the other cool thing. It's just not that, I guess, embraced yet. Probably
Yeah.
because it's so new. That's
Well,
probably a big part of it.
won't it be interesting to check out Ralphie, check out Horst, check out
Yeah.
anybody that might have had this whiskey. And it would be
Oh, they do.
Well, of course they do, and I know they have. I mean, that's not the point. The point is now we're doing it in reverse, I guess, to some degree, where it's like we're having the first crack at it, and then now we have a chance to see how they also experienced it. So it's going to be exciting to go the other route, which is to trace back the research in another direction, which is like forward.
Yeah,
actually,
see
in some ways.
how right we were, or how wrong.
Or where we match up and where we differ, which is fine too.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Because we're going to taste it the way we're going to taste it, and they're going to taste it the way they're going to taste it. And at this point, I'm really interested to see how that compares, right? It'll be a lot of fun, I think. Speaking of comparisons.
Comparison. Scotch.
All right, Gordy, what are you thinking?
Are we talking about
We're talking about
potential comparisons?
We're talking about.
Well,
we're
what's
into it
been
now.
so? What are the whiskeys that have been mentioned as we've been drinking this? What are the natural things that have leaped up?
Okay, let me think. You said you had 2.
I have 3.
You have 3. I
Yeah.
have 1 easy one. Maybe. Yeah. No. Okay. I've got 2.
Okay.
I've got 2, and I
Okay.
think.
If
Okay,
you had to
give
go
me
s-
another 3 seconds to see
Okay,
if I
you
can
take
think
as
of
much
another
time
one.
as you want. It'll be interesting
Ah,
because
yeah,
if
I
you can
don't
come up
wanna-
with all 3 and we're exactly the same, that would be awesome. I think just cause. I think I'd be really excited to hear that.
Okay, I think I could pick 3.
Okay.
All right. We can't really say them at the same time because there's 3 of them. Let's
Well, no, we
narrow
can't.
it down.
You just say it down,
Can
and
we
I'll
narrow
say
it down to?
I'll do a like ding, like for if you're right,
Okay.
and
all
I'll
right.
do a if you're not right.
Okay. Okay. All right. Not in any particular
No, it
order.
doesn't
Let me
have to
just
be-
remember them
Doesn't
again.
it just
We got
3
that one. Okay.
decent comparison whiskeys?
Got them. Kalila,
Ding.
Lachag, Jura. Oh no. Okay.
But it doesn't mean you're not right, because
I don't know.
actually,
At least we got 1 in there.
Jura I wouldn't go with at all.
Well, Jura was just because it was an island, and I thought it's close.
Yeah.
And I don't think anything. I can't think of anything.
Lachig works. Ding. It actually works.
But that's not one you picked.
no, not one I
Okay,
picked, but
well, that's fine.
But we did talk about Lachig through it, so I should have just used my own formula and said 4. But because Lachig really works well. So
All right.
Lachig's definitely in the discussion, and Kalila, I think undoubtedly is in the
Yeah,
discussion.
that's
Why did you choose Kalila?
Just because that's the only flavor. When I said I couldn't think of anything that
Yes.
tasted like this,
It was only
I
Kalila.
thought I was going to save it for this, and it was that.
I know Kalila, smoke
Yeah.
on the on the cork, not as much smoke on the nose, a taste that had an intense building flavor right off the bat. But the difference with Kalila, for me anyway, was when we first drank it, it didn't hold its character, whereas Kilchoman did.
Bang.
So but then
Right out of the gate.
then Kalila like later came back, and I would say is equal to Kilchoman, and very much it's a comparable whiskey. So I think
I would say slightly worrisome.
Kalila's there. I would also add 2 other whiskeys. Number
Okay.
1 being Talisker 10.
Wow, you're really putting it up there then.
I'm saying it's comparable because what Kilchoman has, the Talisker 10 has, is the peppery, oily finish,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, that's
and
true.
it has that character. It just has a character that's so strong that I really couldn't stop thinking about Talisker when I was drinking it, and that brings me to my final one, which is Talisker Storm.
Oh, you're gonna go both Talisker families. Okay,
Right,
that's
Talisker,
reasonable. I
Talisker.
think the Talisker Storm's a better one.
Yeah.
And you know what? I was thinking, like, those are great choices. But I'm thinking, in my mind, I'm going, the Talisker 10, because I've had it so much,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to just almost go, it's better than this. But because this is so new, and we've only had 1.
I know.
You know, it's almost
fun
unfair
to think.
to like.
It's fun to throw. Why it would be fun to put Kilchoman up against the Talisker 10.
It's a ballsy move.
It fixes the bold feeling of the evening. You know, why not strike out on an evening when you're feeling strong? But if you think of it purely from a comparison point of view,
Yeah.
it's again, it's sort of how these intersect with the Kilchoman, and how that intersection is going to be worthwhile to explore. Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, whether it be the Kalila 12, whether it be the Talisker, whether it be the Talisker Storm, or the Lachig, I think the Lachig is out just because it's just not as exciting. You know, and the other thing
Yeah,
is not
what? Really?
Well, it's a Tyler.
You think the latchik would like? Okay, this is why I'm thinking I would put this up against it because I think it could beat it, but I'm not 100%. That's why to me that one was good because they're both different. They're both eyeless. They're both doing something different.
Now we're talking about some serious comparisons.
That's all I'm
now.
saying.
Yeah,
Like,
no, it's a great point.
and
You know,
I love it.
Yeah, I do.
I
too.
have no problem with that Scotch. I if that's all I could drink for here on in, I'd
Yeah,
be okay.
I know, it wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah.
But I think this night is begging for more than that.
Well, it's like
I think this night is looking to see where this one stretches out to, you know?
it's kind of like you know a young buck kind of boxer coming out, and he's really showing his worth, and it's like the big daddies need to just take him down a notch, you know.
That's
He's
right.
got to go up. Somebody's got to shut him up. You know, but I don't know if
on
that's
the first
gonna
night
happen.
he can't just go.
He might just have that young energy
Yeah,
to,
exactly.
to kick butt
To
out there,
overcome
yeah,
something.
just to win him out.
Boy, oh boy. Well,
I don't
then
know.
How do you not put it up against the 10 then?
I think that's a great idea, and put it in its place. Unless it can handle it.
Yeah, or do you
that's
throw
gonna be
another
fun.
4 up like a Storm? Because the Storm has the smoke. It's the smoke and the Kilchoman Machir Bay, or Machir Bay, they have some very similar smoky action going on in both of them.
Totally agree. And it's that comparison that we're talking about. That's what you want. That's kind of what you want to go up against. It's so exciting. And because it's so new, I do think it's at a bit of a disadvantage because I think I'm happy with the Storm too. I've always been. Even though the Talisker always seems like that much better when you have it, but still the Storm is. It's still got something.
We had a great night with the Storm.
Oh.
We had a very similar night to this one where it had just a different energy going on, and we captured that and felt that when we were drinking the whiskey, and it got into both the video and our podcast where we had a certain vibe that was captured as a result.
We did try the 10 afterwards and went,
I know.
okay, that was so much
the 10
better.
put the Storm in its place.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Okay, somebody's got to make a decision here.
Okay, so sorry, we got the you have both the Kalila.
We have 4.
We both had that one. Well, sure.
Kalila seemed like the obvious one off the bat, but at this point,
I like your Storm idea.
Yeah, I think I like the Storm, but and then the part of me just wants to let these the oily nature of each of these happen with just the 10 and this, and just see where we're at. Let's do the 10.
I
think it
I
calls
love
for the
having
10.
the 10. There's no problem with having the 10.
Well, the other thing is, I think we're obligated to that bottle needs to be finished so we can buy a new one anyway, because we actually had our very original video was the Talisker 10.
That's right, and then we had bad audio, bad.
So we kind of screwed the pooch on that
Couldn't
one.
work.
No.
So
let's bring the 10 up.
I think that's a great idea.
Okay.
So the legendary Talisker.
The Talisker
I love
is
it.
here to come play with the Kilchoman, Machir Bay.
Look at it's sort of intimidating just looking at the boxes.
Oh, yeah.
Like this guy, he's sort of like a Mike Tyson, and you've got your I can't even remember the other guy who beat him there.
Oh yeah, it's interesting. I'm like, where? And that's Skye. For a moment, I almost forgot. It's a total different island from Isla.
Okay.
This you ready
super
to pour?
Cool. I'm totally, let's do it. Out of the box he comes. How much do we have left?
I think we're getting there.
Oh, we got enough. This is great. Yeah, it's got to be done anyway. A full show has got to be done. Is that about right?
It looks good to me.
Oh, the Talisker 10.
Yes.
Such a nice dram.
All right, well, cheers.
Cheers. Wow, different nose there. Mm-hmm. To be expected. But that's what I love. These scotches that are just like different. You want to drink them. Wow, that's a how long has that been sitting there? Not too long, right? It's not expired.
Well, probably
smells-
had it about a year and a half, maybe. That's been open.
Year and a half. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're still within range.
Yeah, I don't think in any way we would have lost, what the Talisker 10 is all about. Might have maybe an edge off the intensity, but not necessarily. So, I'm picking up right away. Part of it's because I know this whiskey well, is that it feels oily, very similar to the Kilchoman.
Smells oily too. It just smells thick.
Yeah, it's funny how you can pick that up. Again, part of that's because you know what's coming, but the difference.
Big burn? Do you find that? Like it's a bigger burn, but it's a pleasant burn. It's still that heavy pepper.
The difference is what? Just 0.5%?
Oh yeah, they're
No,
both up there.
this is 2.2.
This is 46 or something,
45.8.
45.8,
So it's actually
right.
less alcohol by volume than the Talisker 10.
Not by much though.
No,
And,
but
you
very,
need-
very
need-
similar.
yeah.
Very similar.
I guess you
But
could
there-
pick that up. Technically, you should be able to pick that up. I
The
guess.
Kilchoman had just a bit sweeter, different. Like I don't get the fruit, that little bit of sort of behind the scenes fruit. The other thing, I don't have the same high dry hay that I had in the Kilchoman. With the Talisker, it's sort of a little more serious, a little more unified, a little more sort of all together on the nose. But it still has a touch of like that sort of custardy vanilla in there. Just
Yeah.
a bit of
Rich, very
just
rich,
a
though.
very,
Not in the
exactly.
sherry sense.
No, definitely.
Really,
it's
like,
very similar to
decadent dessert.
Kilchoman, but 2 octaves lower and a little like more bass or a little more sound in there. A little more. It's coming, you know. It
It's
is
got
coming.
Such a nice buzz to it.
Yes. Well, my nose.
Fly
could-
by.
I know, I could just do this for a little while. I love nosing the Talisker. I love nosing the good ones.
It's so different. The Talisker is I'd like to think it's almost one of those ones that I'm getting to the point now where I can smell it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is so unique. It's so
Totally.
different. And it's not the big Isla.
No, it's not like that.
It's not that at all. It's a different big.
It's different big.
All right, I gotta try it.
Yeah,
This is a,
let's go.
We did
Let's
this
go.
already,
Let's
right?
go.
Didn't we? Yeah. Okay.
Let's go.
That's Talisker, baby.
Wow.
That's how you do a Scotch. Isn't it?
Oh.
I hope we're not being like, just because we know what we're expecting,
No,
our
it's
taste
so
buds
good.
are prepped.
It's so good.
We have like a bit of an addiction to it, probably.
Probably.
And
Certainly. Yes. Okay. Well, what do you want to say about this? Because I can say some things.
okay. Well, I talk at a very high level. I can't get too detailed, but I feel like I really like this. But what I'm wanting to do is try another Kilchoman just to see, like, just a little bit again. Because I think right off the bat, this tastes better.
Yes.
But there's something about the Kilchoman that I'm still excited about.
I
It
agree.
doesn't
No.
wash it out.
No, it doesn't blow away the Kilchoman. It outclasses the Kilchoman in one particular regard that I am very particular about when I differentiate quality. So if we're going to say the difference between a 4 and a 5 and why, the thing that Talisker can do that Kilchoman can't do is it does a dance. It does it does this thing when you taste it that is unexpected. There's always a turn or a twist when you drink the Talisker where it catches you off guard.
It excites you.
It draws you quietly into a place where you think it's just dissipating, and then it all of a sudden floods back on you, and it
Like
it
a
just-
wave.
Yes.
Just like a harsh
yeah, and
ocean
so
wave.
it has an initial, like, it's here and it's happening and it's awesome, and then it all of a sudden is like it's done, and then it comes back for one more like act or like an encore,
Just
and
like a storm.
and it just comes flying through,
Yes.
and it just completely encompasses your taste buds and finishes with a beautiful, strong, complex, elegant finish, and that outclasses the Kilchoman. And that's the difference between a whiskey that's a 4 and a whiskey that's a 5. And once again, you can see the difference. But that's not to say that Kilchoman doesn't have some really incredibly good things going on.
Yeah. Well, yeah, 4 and 5.
4 and 5.
Because you can actually get the Talisker 10 for cheaper,
Yeah.
right?
Right, of course. And that's a really important point. You know, if
But
you
maybe
get,
not. If it was sold in the BC liquor store, it probably wouldn't be that much. If you go private, you're going to pay a little extra just because they'll get it in for you. I mean, maybe it's around the same price. What is the 10 again? 10's like 110 here, right?
I think that if you get the Storm, it's 100, and if you get the 10, it's about 110. It's about the difference of $10 or $12.
So then the Kilchoman is probably cheaper.
Yeah, probably, but who knows? Who
Yeah,
knows? We'll have to
BC, yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to figure it out. That's
Yeah.
so the price point doesn't come into it on this particular night, because what we're doing right now is we're taking what we thought was a really wonderful, young, exciting, cool new whiskey, and we wanted to put it up and really see if it could match up. It can't, but it does do one thing which is it brings an oily, this is the Kilchoman, brings an oily finishing essence of strength and flavor that in some ways is actually even a touch superior to the Talisker 10. But what the Talisker 10 does is it's like the full symphony concert. Like it doesn't, it hits on every note in every place, and Kilchoman can't do that. Kilchoman can do a couple of things really, really well, whereas Talisker still has sort of the full complement. I like the Kilchoman nose. I like the Kilchoman flavor and how it sort of approaches, and I love the Kilchoman finish. But the Talisker is just stronger throughout the process, and has that one thing, which is that that thing where the whiskey just goes so subtle and it almost just disappears from the experience, and then just comes roaring back in and finishes like, it's not even the strength of the finish, it's just the way it goes away and comes back, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It is, yeah, you got to give it credit. You wonder, like, okay, this distillery, super young, started out. Time plays a big factor in crafting, you know, what you do. And if these guys had another, 200 years behind their belt, like, do they
Right.
keep on working their product? Do
That's
they keep,
right.
So if that's the case, because it's so young,
The potential.
the potential is there for it to be.
Yeah. So 20 years from now,
yeah,
when we're in our 60s, mid 60s, and we're talking Kilchoman, maybe we're talking like a level 5 whiskey. Why not?
maybe they keep.
Why not?
Yeah, I don't know. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
What are the things they're doing well? They're growing their own barley. They're not chill filtering. They're not adding color.
Somebody seems to understand like what whiskey lovers love.
That's
that
right.
Works here. They're
And
like,
they're
look, these are
keeping-
good things.
That's right.
We got to push this.
Alcohol by volume is quite strong.
Yeah.
All those things coming together in one whiskey is extraordinary, really, and exciting for where it could go.
Yeah. I mean, even here, Kilchoman displays all that is great about the grassroots traditions of Scotch whiskey distilling, and truly is Isla's farm distillery, from barley to bottle.
Hey,
Yeah.
why not?
It
Well,
shows.
we
The
don't have
product
a,
shows that somebody cares.
we don't
and
have
that's
a-
what really matters.
We don't have a quote of the night picked out. Perhaps we just read off the Kilchoman box tonight and talk about exactly what you just talked about.
We could do that. Should we read it one more time?
Yeah.
Quote of the night.
Kilchoman displays all that is great about the grassroots traditions of Scotch whiskey distilling, and truly is Isla's farm distillery, from barley to bottle. Kilchoman.
Kilchoman.
Maybe John
Kilchoman.
McClellan.
McLennan.
No, he's just the distillery manager.
The manager.
But maybe he
No, isn't he the master? McLennan?
says the manager.
Oh, okay. Right.
Anyhow, doesn't
quote
matter.
of the night.
I think that's good. Like
Yeah.
that quote, everything they do is right, you know? Even, and it really makes me so happy to know that I've tried it, whatever 11 years down the road, and I'm super stoked on it. And because they care, because they understand what real Scotch lovers like, a commitment to their craft, knocking off all the things that, it's the pure, what do you call it? It's like the pure process of making scotches. And they've done that. They've kept true to it, exactly like it says in the quote. They're doing their due diligence.
Yes. And I was just going to say, metaphorically, the way they've built this bottle with the strong base coming up to, like, everything is well structured and set. I think they're perhaps trying to capture that they're doing things right. That they're saying, we're just building from the bottom up. We're taking the wisdom of the ages of whiskey, and we're trying to produce something that respects all of that wisdom in our product. And we're doing that by giving you the alcohol by volume, by giving you the pure color, and by not chill filtering it, so that you have the essence of all that goes in, and it's also all the essence that comes out and gets into our glass in some point. People talk about the chill filtering as a way to create a better sort of body, or a way to create a sort of more consumable whiskey. But is that what people want to consume? Not necessarily. Not when things could be more complex, more interesting, more unique, right? Like the fact that this whiskey is dedicated to what it is forces it further into its own category and can only be classified and taste within its own unique geography. And that, I think, is really, really awesome.
It is. Hats off and well done. And thank you for not disappointing me.
Totally.
I'm pretty sure I'm still really stoked about it, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
probably maybe
Little hubris.
skewing it.
A little
Yeah.
hubris. Yeah.
But still, it could have been worse. It could have been a
Are
lot
you
worse.
kidding?
I was a little worried.
Yeah. No. I
But
mean,
tasting it now, just as a back little, going back,
going
taking a little
after
sip,
the Talisker.
it has a great smoky back end to it.
Mm-hmm.
I like that, and I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that Adam rode some horses too.
Really?
Yeah, you could ride all around and do a little horse riding around the ranch. He did that. I know he did that. But yeah, that's kind of cool too, right?
Oh, really cool. It's really cool.
It tastes good though. Even coming off, yes, the Talisker is better, more enjoyable, would prefer that forever.
Slightly more complex.
Yeah, it's more of a masterpiece. But this still has got an enjoyable flavor. I'm not going, oh, I wish I was drinking the Talisker again. I'm still okay with drinking the Kilchoman.
No. I'm in fact, quite satisfied.
It makes you want to try their other ones, does it not?
For sure.
I'm like,
try the
oh,
other ones
I'll
and
try
try
the
this
other one.
again
I'll try
10
the
years
sherry
from now.
one too.
Try it again, and hopefully they start throwing some age statements out there so we can landmark this a little more. But who knows?
They do have
maybe-
some age statements, I
Do they?
think. Yeah.
Oh.
I noticed it was actually in the book too. There was a
cool.
little,
Was
one
there?
of the, not in
Which
the
book?
Jackson book, but the other one.
in the broom.
Yeah, it compared
Oh.
it to Brook Laddie, I think.
Well, would that be worth doing as part of our show tonight? Is maybe bring the David Broom out and maybe read a little bit about what he said about
Oh,
Kilchoman?
sure, certainly check it out.
What the heck?
Let's,
I mean, we can have a couple of.
Quote of the night.
This is the first reference here. Something strange happened to me in autumn 2013. I had a sample of a new Kilchoman bottling from 2007. After inhaling and without thinking, I wrote classic Kilchoman character. Even though there is a difference between age and maturity, it is fair to say that it can take a decade or more in decent casks for a distillery to settle fully into its mature guise. Kilchoman has reached that important marker quicker than most people would have imagined. This currently Isla's newest and smallest distillery, another is planned, blah, 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 has always been precarious, however, period. I can't even see right now. Its aim was to take whiskey back to its farmstead roots. Located away from the coast in the rich farmland parish of Kilchoman Parish, that's redundant, where the Beatons settled in the 14th century, it overlooks the blue waters of Loch Gorm. In late summer, on either side of its long drive, barley rustles in the fields, which will then be taken, malted, distilled, and aged on site. This is a modern take on old-style farm distilling, with echoes of how leches used to make only what their fields gave them. We'll have to work on that one. The distillery is now managed by John McLennan, formerly of Brunahaben, another member of a generation of locals, seemingly born with a Valnich in their hand. I guess that's a peat cutting tool or something. He oversees the creation of a new make, which is smoky and shore-like, with hints of clove and soft fruit. But while it has been top-notch from the start, like any spirit, it needs to be balanced and enhanced by wood. So it carries on. But there's quite a bit of good stuff here, actually.
Anyway, let's not make this about reading an entire book. He does a good job describing it. He talks about its ability to impress early within the process and make an impression, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's worthwhile.
Right
in
off
and
the
of
bat,
itself.
he was like, oh, it's going to be good.
It's going to be good.
That's
And
exactly what I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, and you had a chance to taste it long ago. And
like-
it's funny because the one thing I wasn't too keen on when I first looked at it as it came out of the box and
Yeah.
the bottle was the whole farm whiskey thing. It was like, yeah,
What,
know-
you just didn't like the fact that it was a farm?
well, just that it was like, it just sort of seemed like, I don't know, I just
Backwater?
wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it.
But it is Isla.
Yeah. Well,
And
but
just because
I've never.
they're on a farm and they grow, somebody's got to grow the barley.
Of
and
course.
you would think that
no,
that's where the barley would be
I
grown.
don't. I like it now because I
better.
actually listen to what David Broom was saying. And he talked about the roots of whiskey coming from, the additional barley that Scottish farmers grew, and they needed to do something with it, so they started doing whiskey. So that ties it in really nicely. So it's good to read. You probably would like to read a little more, but...
we can read more.
Well, I closed it up. It's just sitting there closed now.
But it was good, you're right. I did like that.
His writing's great too. I mean, I like Michael Jackson's writing. I think it's more classic.
It's more,
But
narrative.
Broom is, he's the top of the, he's the best right now out there. In terms of, he's living, number one. Number two, this particular, the World Atlas of Whiskey is just an excellent resource. Everything ties together nicely, and he does a really good job of putting whiskeys into flavor palettes as opposed to keeping whiskeys within their regions.
That's true, but can you do that? Like, I'm not, obviously the guy knows more than I do, but there are definitely some traits. Mm-hmm. So like we were having trouble comparing this. Where did I go? I stuck with all islands, and so did you. Yeah. Right? So, I mean, not that we know the most, or we're like we claim to know everything, but those are the flavors that stuck out to us in our limited group of scotches, which isn't that limited. Those are the ones that stood out. So even though we disagreed maybe on some of them, we still were like, oh, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
There was still some, because they're so distinctive.
Right.
All those ones along the coastline generally are distinctive, so distinctive. And we found a few that are inland or on the mainland that also stand out, that are great scotches. But for the most part, if you're looking for different flavor.
Yeah, unique, strong flavors exist in the islands. Now when the Wee Dram is thought of, Kilchoman's always going to have a piece,
You're right, it's a 4, which means that
you always have
those guys are going to be around.
That when you empty the bottle of Kilchoman, you're looking for another one. And if you're smart, you have it lined up before you finish it. You're not finishing it and then wondering where, or forgetting it. Wouldn't that be a shame? Not that you could, because now we have a video and some audio.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we are coming to the end of our evening, aren't we?
We sure are.
Yes.
That was great. It
was
a great evening.
It's been a great evening.
Oh, I'm stoked on the scotch.
We still have quite a bit to drink, which is wonderful.
It's great, and we've got yeah. It's fun to drink it in these glasses. I do kind of like it. It feels like
the brand new Wee Dram glasses are absolutely beautiful. It's perfect. Excellent. Well, and as usual, before we sign off, just to say a genuine thank you for all the support and for all the subscriptions to the YouTube channel and for the time that people take to listen to us yak on about whiskey and to join us in our conversation and to encourage people to reach out to continue discussions and dialogue and to ask questions and to add perspective and to really just continue this journey so that we can all enjoy whiskey, as much as we can to enhance our lives. And it's a small pleasure, yet it brings so much just genuine enjoyment.
I agree. Thank you.
Thank you.
And our next one up, seeing as we were right.
We went off schedule.
We went off schedule. We're going to be on the same island.
True.
Which will be still fun.
Wow. To come off Kilchoman and go straight to Brook Laddie?
Yeah.
The classic Laddie is coming up.
And we still have the Boonhaven.
The Boonhaven is down.
We're going to just really
the Boonhaven is
I love it.
The Boonhaven is a different Boonhaven. It's a traveler's one. We'll talk about that later. But it's a Boonhaven nonetheless. And we've never had one. Have you ever had a Boonhaven?
We have. We did have one in the other one. Remember we had a stubby little bottle. It was a black bottle and it looked very much like this.
That's right.
Had this sort of sailor piper guy.
Yeah, it was the guy, the mariner behind the wheel. That's right. We did have that. Yes, but it's been so long that I've probably lost all recollection. All right. On that note,
I love that.
To everybody, to whiskey drinkers, wherever you will be found.
Cheers.
From the Wee Dram.
From the Wee Dram. Arr.
Arr. We didn't sing.
Okay, let's sing. We've
No.
got some time. What do you want to sing? We'll edit it until we get there, but it'll be all right.
A man named Brady.
And a man named Brady. Why the Brady Bunch?
I don't know.
I just started singing that, and I'm like, why the Brady Bunch? That doesn't make any sense at all.
No sense.
Neither did Happy Days,
No.
though.
Well, no, it did. It was within contact. We were in And we're doing it.